Ever feel like your 8-year-old ghosted you at the dinner table while still demanding ketchup? You're sitting 2 feet away and still getting the emotional equivalent of seen. They used to overshare. Now, you get one-word answers and a dramatic sigh if you press. This isn't just a phase. It's a quiet test. Are you safe enough for the real stuff? And the habits that fail that test? They don't look like mistakes. They look like good parenting. In this video, I'll show you 10 silent parenting mistakes that quietly push your child away and how to fix them before they shut you out for good. Mistake number 1, the achievement interrogation. Your kid walks in the door, backpack still half on, and before they even kick off their shoes, you hit them with the pop quiz. How was your math test? Did you finish that project? What homework you have tonight? You think you're showing interest, but to them, it's like a performance review, and they forgot their notes. At this age, kids crave your approval. And when the first thing you ask about is schoolwork, they start to think your love depends on their report card. So if they mess up, they hide it. You're not raising a kid. You're raising an anxious overachiever with a secret stomachache. The fix? Ask about them first. What made you laugh today? Who'd you sit with at lunch? Anything weird happen? Be curious about their world, not just their output. Grades matter, but showing your kid they matter regardless of those grades, that's what keeps the door open. Mistake number 2, the emotional editing. Your kid says, I hate my teacher, and you jump in like a PR manager. You don't hate her. You're just frustrated. Translation, let's reword that to something more comfortable for me. Or they say, I'm terrible at math. And before they finish the sentence, you're already cheerleading. Don't say that. You just need more practice. You think you're being helpful, but to them, you're editing their feelings in real time. Elementary age kids are just learning how to name what they feel. And when you constantly correct them, they stop trusting their own emotions. They start hiding what's real or only saying what they think you want to hear. You're not making them stronger. You're making them second guess themselves. So, what do you do instead? Validate first. Sounds like that really upset you. Want to tell me more? Math's feeling hard right now? That must be super frustrating. Feelings don't need fixing. They need witnessing. Then, and only if they want help, you can talk about what to do next. Mistake number 3, the comparison trap. You know, your sister was reading chapter books by your age. Ugh, nothing like a little sibling rivalry over bedtime stories. Or, why can't you be more like Emma? She's so organized. Translation, I love you, but I'd love you more if you were someone else. You think you're motivating them, but you're actually handing them a measuring stick and asking them to chase someone else's life. Elementary age kids are building their identity from scratch. When you compare them to others, even their past selves, they get the message, I'm not enough unless I'm winning. They start seeing relationships as competitions. Some become insecure. Others develop I'm better than you energy at 8. Either way, they're learning that love is something you earn, not something you get. So, what should you do? Celebrate their growth, not someone else's timeline. You've been remembering your backpack all week. That's new. I saw how frustrated you got with that puzzle, and you didn't give up. That was a smart fix. Did you think of that on your own? You're helping them build pride from the inside out. Quick pause. If this section's making you wince a little, that's normal. We all slip into comparison without realizing it. Hit like if this hit a nerve. And if you're still here, you're already doing the work most parents avoid. The next mistake? It's one that makes kids feel invisible, and most parents don't even notice. Number 4, the busy dismissal. Your kid starts telling you a story about playground drama. You nod while loading the dishwasher, phone in hand, half listening. They pause for your reaction. You give them an that screams, I have no idea what you just said. Or worse, they ask, can I tell you something? And you hit them with the dreaded, not right now, I'm busy. You're not trying to hurt them. You're just trying to keep dinner from burning, the laundry from molding, and your brain from melting. But they don't hear that. What they hear is, my thoughts aren't important enough to interrupt your to-do list. And here's the heartbreaking part. Elementary age kids only open up in short, weirdly timed windows, like when you're elbows deep in a garbage bag or late for a meeting. If you miss that window too many times, they stop knocking. That doesn't mean you have to drop everything the second they speak, but it does mean giving them the message, you matter. I'm coming back. Try this. Give me 2 minutes to finish this, and then I want to hear everything. Then actually mean it. Put the phone down. Make eye contact. React like they're telling you a NASA secret. They're not just telling you what happened at recess. They're testing whether you're safe to talk to. Miss that signal, and they'll stop sending it. Mistake number 5, the problem prevention. Your kid starts venting about playground drama. Before they finish the sentence, you're already planning a strongly worded email to their teacher. Or worse, drafting a peace treaty between 2 third graders who aren't speaking anymore because of a banana. They get stuck on a math problem, and boom, you're halfway through solving it before they even ask. It feels like you're being helpful, supportive, proactive. But what they're learning is, I can't do things unless mom or dad steps in. And that message kills confidence. Elementary age kids need small struggles. It's practice for the bigger stuff, like friend drama, group projects, or navigating life when you're not standing right behind them with a parachute and a snack. When you solve things too fast, you rob them of a powerful moment, the chance to figure it out. Instead, try asking, do you want help figuring this out, or you just want me to listen? That question does 3 things at once. 1, gives them agency. 2, builds trust. 3, stops you from turning into a helicopter in yoga pants. Sometimes they just need to vent. Sometimes they just want to think through it with you. Sometimes they're already working on a solution and just need to know you believe they can. Step back. Be the guide, not the fixer. Because the real win isn't solving it for them. It's watching them realize they can solve it for themselves. Mistake number 6, the performance pressure. Your kid shows you a crayon drawing, and before you say, cool spaceship, you're Googling local art competitions. They tap a few keys on a piano. You're wondering if it's too early to call Juilliard. They join a soccer team to have fun, and suddenly you're yelling from the sidelines like there's scholarships on the line. We all do this. Not because we're monsters, but because we want our kids to succeed. But here's the problem. When everything becomes about performance, they stop exploring. They stop taking risks. So they stick to safe and stop trying new. You're not raising a resume. You're raising a curious, messy, wonderful human who deserves to enjoy the process, not just the prize. Instead of, did you win? Try, did you have fun? What did you try that was new today? What made you laugh at practice? Celebrate effort, curiosity, creativity, not just outcomes. Because when kids feel free to try, they grow braver, and the confidence that comes from that, way more powerful than a trophy. Quick favor from Sticko before we move on. If this is hitting home, could you take 1 second to tap that subscribe button? Believe it or not, over 97% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free, takes half a breath, and seriously, it helps more than you think. Already subscribed? You're officially awesome. Mistake number 7, the adult friendship. Your kid gets home from school, and before they can say, I traded my apple for gummy worms, you're unloading about your boss, your bills, or how your marriage feels like a sitcom with no punchlines. It sounds like bonding. It feels like honesty. But to your kid, it's like saying, here, carry my adult stress in your school bag. Elementary age kids can be surprisingly wise, but they're not your therapist. They don't need to know that rent's late. They don't need to hear about your coworker Karen and her passive-aggressive Post-it notes. And they definitely don't need to feel like your emotional support animal. Because here's what happens. They start managing your emotions instead of learning how to handle their own. And that's how anxious, over-responsible kids are born. Kids who smile and say, I'm fine, while secretly feeling like the whole family might collapse if they stop holding it together. Let them be kids. They need to believe the grown-ups have it covered, even if the grown-ups are running on caffeine, therapy, and blind faith. Need to vent? Phone a friend. Talk to your partner. Scream it into a pillow if you must. But when you talk to your 8-year-old, ask them about their day. Listen to their Minecraft drama. Laugh at their terrible knock-knock joke. Because their job is to be a child, not your counselor in Crocs. Number 8, the constant correction. Your kid's telling a story. So then the dinosaur came and you jump in. It's Tyrannosaurus, not Trinosaurus. They're making dinner with you, and you quietly redo the way they chop the cucumber. Because clearly, crooked slices are a crime against salads. They share an idea, and you instantly launch into why that wouldn't work in real life. You think you're helping them grow, but what they're hearing is, nothing I do is good enough. Elementary age kids are in the messy middle. Old enough to try, still young enough to mess it all up. And when every effort gets corrected, they stop trying. Or worse, they become tiny perfectionists who panic if their Lego tower isn't symmetrical. You don't want that. You want a kid who's confident enough to try, even if the cookies look like they've been through a small explosion. So here's the fix. Pick your battles. Correct stuff that matters, like safety or kindness. But if they mispronounce a word, just mirror it back correctly in your response. No big deal. If they mix up a story detail, let it slide. Because the goal isn't perfection. It's connection. And nothing kills confidence faster than a constant red pen. Let them be gloriously imperfect. That's where the learning lives. If their drawing of a cat looks like a potato with whiskers, it's a cat now. Mistake number 9, the screen competition. Your kid is showing you the Lego dragon they built for 3 whole hours. And you're nodding along while responding to a Slack message, scrolling Instagram, and texting someone you forgot existed. You think you're multitasking. What they see, you choose the rectangle over them. And the message that sends, whatever's on that screen matters more than me. Oof. Elementary age kids notice everything, especially when your eyes flick down right as they hit the punchline of their story. They may not say it loud, but inside, they're keeping score. And when the screen wins too many times, they stop trying to share. Or worse, they start competing for your attention in ways you don't want. The fix? Create phone-free zones like it's 2003. Dinner, no phones. Bedtime stories, airplane mode. One-on-one time, pretend your phone is allergic to love. Symptoms include ignoring your child's epic Lego robot. You don't have to be screen-free 24/7. Just show them, at least once a day, that nothing is more interesting than their cardboard robot, their off-key song, or their very important explanation of how lava works. Because what they'll remember isn't what you said. It's how it felt to have your full attention. Mistake number 10, the future anxiety. Your kid forgets their lunchbox, and suddenly you're spiraling into, how will they ever survive in the real world? They struggle with reading, and you're Googling literacy tutors at 2 a.m. like their Harvard acceptance depends on it. We think we're being responsible parents. But here's what our kids hear. You're not enough right now. You only matter when you succeed later. Ugh. That lands hard, especially on a 7-year-old who still thinks crayons taste kind of interesting. Childhood isn't just a runway for adulthood. It's life. It's supposed to be messy, silly, unpredictable, and full of growth that doesn't come with a GPA. When you constantly worry out loud about their future, they soak up your anxiety like a sponge in a puddle of panic. They start thinking they need to fix it. And suddenly, your 8-year-old has a stress headache. So here's the shift. Your job isn't to predict their future. It's to protect their present. Instead of, how will this affect college? Try, how can I help you feel proud of yourself today? Focus on building character, curiosity, kindness, and resilience. Because a child who knows they're loved and supported right now has a way better shot at thriving later. They grow up safer, stronger, and way more likely to let you in, even as teenagers.